Shalom, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Ba'Shem Rakwakwadah. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim Wakwathim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, I'm going to be talking about these two videos over here. But the thing is, I'm not going to play them. It's too long, and I'll just summarize them because it's just that much easier. Basically, this first thing here, you have this Christian who is basically going out on the highways and byways, setting up there, and preaching to people, and talking to people and all that stuff. And the thing. And when he meets someone and stuff like that, he's just trying to, basically say that, okay, well, it doesn't matter about your skin color, it doesn't matter about your flesh, it doesn't matter about your spirit, X, Y, and Z. And again, trying to say, okay, well, the truth is for everyone. And then over here, you have this person. Well, first things first, I just want to point out that this person literally, this is kind of like getting triggered over literally the smallest things, and this dude literally just let's just actually hear what he said and read.
Always in the Middle East, it was when you from ever, there are them Hebrew Israelites. So I want to talk about this comment, right? Because the first comment was this person's asking, why do people hate Hebrew Israelites? Someone else replied to that, and this reply was, you never listen to them, but they teach false doctrine.
Now over here, you heard that. You heard the first comment that he said, and then because of that, because he replied to someone else, this one dude got super freaking triggered and stuff like that, like a freaking as if he has blue hair. All right. And it just made this whole ass video when the dude wasn't even directly defending Israelites. All he said was, how are you going to say that someone is preaching a false doctrine if you yourself do not know what they're teaching? That's literally all he said. He didn't say, oh, they are teaching the right thing, or they're doing this, they're doing that and whatnot. Now, if they had said that, then if they had said that in later comments, okay, sure, that's fine. But over here, with the context that he's given us, he literally looks like he just got absolutely triggered from that stuff, when that wasn't him trying to disprove it is not what actually matters, okay? Because this person specifically was not saying that being an Israelite is right, being an Israelite is wrong. All he said was that, how are you going to make a judgment if you yourself did not do any research to actually see what they believe? That's what he was saying. Now, in terms of what he actually said, I forgot most of it. I think it was I did not forget most of it. It's basically, well, actually, there's one thing I wanted to go into, and I actually well, first things first, Slakia. First things first, I want to get this. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 46, and they shall be upon, no, let me start verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and thy seed, and upon thy seed forever. Slakia. So basically, over here is that these curses are supposed to be on as a sign for us, okay? The curses are supposed to signify these are the Israelites, because these things are happening to the Israelites. So as a result of that, now we understand, now we know, okay, these are the Israelites because this happened. These are the Israelites because X, Y, and Z happened, all this stuff and stuff like that. And you can go up and read all the things, even go down as well which is the most common one. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68, the Egypt again with ships. Okay, that's the most common one. But even more, let's actually get over here some more. One example over here, verse 41, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. And we also get whatever, you basically understand. Like there's more. Like for example here, 39, they shall plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor the gardens, for the worms shall eat them. They shall have olive trees throughout all the, whatever. Basically you get the point where we're gonna be working and stuff, but we're not gonna be able to enjoy any of the stuff, any of the fruits of our labors and stuff like that, of our physical labor. Like we're working to make someone else rich, basically. All right. And and there's more, of course, but that these are the signs that show that we are the Israelites. Now, also, in addition to that, Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasures. Basically the counsel, the words of YAHAWASHI, but the prophecy that YAHAWASHI said is going to happen. And the simple fact is that you can't just disqualify all the things, all the prophecies that the Lord said simply because you just want everyone to be brought in. Okay, that is not how things work. That's not how the Lord works. Okay, the Lord, if you want everyone to be brought in, then that means that you have to make YAHAWASHI to be a liar, which he is not. All right. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Let me see. Oh, here. Numbers chapter 23, verse 19. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Basically goes to show that, the prophecies that the Lord said that he's going to do, the prophecies that the Lord said that he was going to do, is that is what he's going to do. And an example of that is, okay, you know what, I'm going to make the Israelites go through Egypt, which is spiritual bondage, which is Babylon, in captivity through ships, X, Y, and Z, all these hyper specific curses and stuff like that, where we are subject to our oppressors. All right, now continuing on. What was the next thing? Oh yeah, let me just try to search this up because he said something.
Double honor to the apostle
and perverting
he said something about Romans 10:4.
Not only does Jesus love you, but you don't have to follow Old Testament laws to get. The Bible was never originally intended for that. But again, the moral of the story is we're slave owners, true, and that's why they believe that. Maybe it's because of the fact that they believe the light at the end of the tunnel is. We say that's the end of the tunnel. It is slavery, false doctrine. I believe most Hebrew Israelites are now made right in the eyes of God. Meaning Christ did what I believe is 10:4, which in fact is not true. We see in Romans, I believe it's 10:4, the Bible talks about how Christ already fulfilled the law, so everyone who follows Christ is made righteousness and made right in the eyesight of God. Meaning Christ did what we couldn't do. He followed the law to a T, and because he fulfilled the law, we now put our trust, faith, and hope in him, and we are now made right in the eyesight.
All right, Slakia, I need to, before I forget, I just need to get this.
How many times you have seen representations of God, Jesus, angels, biblical characters, all white? Now think, how many times have you seen these figures as black? How many times have you seen a God with...
Bear with me one moment. Okay, I'll let this play now.
Of God, that's number 3. And this is just my personal...
All right, so yeah, that was it. Okay, so anyway... Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. Think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophecy or the Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. Think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets. I'm not come to destroy but to fulfill. So basically, he's saying that Where is it?
that has always existed,
Is
but
it?
has been systematically suppressed.
Matthew chapter
Black God
5 and 17 said he did not come to destroy the law but to fulfill. And then over here in Romans chapter 10 verse 4, as he said, for Hamashiach is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. And I don't know why he couldn't have just gotten the actual scripture out. That's something that I always hate, where let's say that it wasn't Romans 10 and 4, then I'm over here just looking and saying, okay, well, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, where is it? And there have been times when, you know, I've been in a conversation, quote unquote conversation, all right, or let's call it what it was, an actual debate or whatever, where someone is referencing a scripture, but they don't actually show it. So I'm just thinking over here, like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Because you're not showing the actual reference point of what you're saying. It's like you're basically just talking out of your ass, and I'm just supposed to believe you, and whatever you're saying is just supposed to be fact. I'm just supposed to that's it. Like there's no proof into the things that you're saying. You're just saying stuff. And again, it's like that is just a personal grievance of mine that I absolutely hate. That's why I always try to get the videos that I'm referencing and put it in the description. And I always attempt to, if I remember, get the verses of stuff, and then if I remember where to find it and all that stuff, I always try to get the verses and, you know, say, okay, this, rather than just speaking from memory, which even then memory doesn't even work the best. It's always better to just, you know, have it out like this, because, you know, oftentimes people, even me, okay, there's been times when I misremembered what a verse says, where I think the verse says certain something, and then the grammar is messed up in the way I said it. But whatever, that's irrelevant. Now, the important part is that he said here, Romans 10 and 4, Matthew 5:17. Think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy but to fulfill. He did not say that. I'm adding this. And he said, Romans 10 and 4, for Hamashiach is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believes. So basically, he's trying to say that, okay, well, now the law is over. Oh, Yahawashi fulfilled it. Like that means that we're done. Like, we don't need to worry about the law anymore. Well, that's not true. That is wrong. First things first. Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. If you literally go to the next verse 18, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Now, has all things been fulfilled? No. I'm not gonna wait for. I don't need to wait, because I'm the one speaking here, but all things have not been fulfilled. So, as the scriptures say, one jot or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law. Next, let's go into Romans 10, which is what he referenced. If you actually go down more, let's start. Actually, I'm gonna read it all the way through. Not all the way through, but you basically get the point. Verse 5: For Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on the wise. Say not in thine heart, who shall ascend into heaven, that is, to bring Hamashiach down from above, or who shall descend from the deep, that is, to bring up Hamashiach again from the dead. But what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in my mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Yahawashi, and shalt believe in thine heart that Yahweh hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confesseth with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. Where is it? So yes, basically, all right. The thing here is that we still need to display our faith. So yes, it is by faith, all right. It is by faith. It is by faith, but it's also, it's by you have to show your faith through your actions. It's the same way as like, okay, are you, if you're saying that Yahawashi died for our sins, that means that are you trying to say that we can keep on breaking the law? We don't need to worry about all those extra stuff? Like, that's not how things work. You can't go around killing people. You can't go around sleeping with your neighbor's wife or whatever, committing adultery and whatnot. You can't do all that. You cannot do all that stuff. So as a result of that, all right. So as a result of that, all that is the actions that you do, because you can't say that the Lord, that after Yahawashi died on the cross, that means that you're allowed to sin, you're allowed to go and do all the things I just said. Okay, obviously you can't do all that stuff, and you also can't pick and choose what laws to keep. You can't. Who are you to say that these specific laws, yeah, I'm gonna keep it, or I'm determined that this is all right to keep? And these other laws, like, oh, eating pork, I've made the executive decision above Yahweh that I'm not going to keep them. Okay, so again, there goes that thing. But Slakia, going back into faith, the matter of faith, Slakia, over here in James chapter 2, verse 18, no, verse 17. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. So your faith is not anything. And again, it's not a matter of we are going to be justified by keeping the law. That is incorrect. I'll speak for myself. I don't teach or preach that. I don't say you're gonna be justified by your actions. You are given mercy as a gift from Yahawadah Shem Yahawashi. Now, also continuing on, verse 18, yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. And you show your faith through your works by constantly following the words of Yahawadah, which includes the law. Okay. Now, next. Verse 19, thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well, the devils also believe and tremble. So basically over here you see the parallel of all you're saying that all you should do is you believe that Yahawadah is real. You believe and you say, oh, I love Yahawadah, I believe in Yahawadah, and that's it. But your faith, your quote-unquote faith of just saying you believe, is literally equivalent or being equated to the exact same faith as a literal devil. The devils also believe and acknowledge that Yahawadah Shem Yahawashi exists, but does that mean that they also are doing good? Are they good for just believing in the Lord as well? So again, that goes to show that it's not enough just to say or just to believe in your mind, because it's more than just that. Now next, Mark chapter 14 verse, and Slakia, I forgot where I had read something because I was reading this. Oh yeah, here, Slakia, verse 9. Romans 10 verse 9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that the Lord Yahawashi, and shalt believe in thy heart that Yahweh hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. And it goes into not just your belief, but it's displaying through your actions. You're showing through your actions that yes, I do believe, and that's why you're going out to preach and teach. That's why you're if you're able, that's why you're actually taking the words and the scriptures seriously. Next, Mark chapter 14 verse 9, verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, this also that he hath done shall be spoken of for a memorial of her. And that's another thing where this truth has to be preached throughout the whole world, and that's when a part of the final prophecies, the final things that needs to be fulfilled needs to happen. Okay, where we are waiting for YAHAWAH to seal the elect. Okay, which the thing about Christianity, literally everybody knows about Christianity. It is very hard for most people to not know, no matter what country they're in, to not know what Christianity is. So that's not the thing. That's not what needs to be preached. And the true thing that needs to be preached is the lost sheep returning to their heritage. Okay, this whole thing about and also another thing is that there's so many people that are Christianity is like one of the top 3 most followed religions in the world. I don't even know the religious beliefs statistic, but I know that it is one of the top 3 most followed religions in the world. All right, but basically when everyone acknowledges, when all the elect specifically acknowledge that I am one of the elect. Okay, as I always say, one of the you might look like the other nation, but you are actually an Israelite. Okay, where there might be someone else like a so-called Chinese person, so-called Indian, so-called Middle Eastern. Okay, they need to hear, or whatever other nations that there are. All right, they need to hear that. They need to hear, and they need to return to Yahawadah before Yahweh sends YAHAWASHI to deliver his elect. Now, continuing on finally with this, Romans chapter 13 verse 11, and that knowing the time that it is high time to awake up of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. And this is to end it off, where there is a great awakening, where there's so many people that are coming out and acknowledging that so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, so-called diaspora, whatever. Oh, I'm an Israelite because this, I really believe what these Israelites are saying. I believe this. I believe that. And all this stuff. All right. As a matter of fact, let me actually get this, because this was a video I was gonna make a separate lesson on. Where the frick is this video? Here. This dude was actually. Let's let it play just a little bit. Okay. Just a little bit.
Black Hebrew Israelites, whatever. And now, honestly, they're letting in Asians, they're letting in Hispanic, they're expanding, right? Pretty much anybody that's not white, you one of God's chosen people. Let me show you why this is such a lie from the enemy. If you say, okay, I believe it, I'm one of God's chosen people, now what? They're going to tell you that you have to live by the law. Go to Galatians.
Alright, so Slaka, unexpectedly, I was going to make a separate lesson on this, but I guess this just fits in. All right. So basically, this dude is talking about how, we're trying to tell people to follow the law, and that's wrong. And he's also saying, which by the way goes back into it again, which I think I made a lesson on this yesterday, where Jake always has a problem with, which I also talked about that yesterday as well, where Jake only has a problem if Esau can't make it in. If Esau is excluded from it, then they don't want to be a part of it. If Esau is called out for being wicked, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't associate with that and stuff like that. That's always been the thing. But let someone say, the Chinese are not allowed to be a part of it, that the Indians are not allowed to be a part of it, the Middle Easterns are not allowed to be a part of it, then nobody bats an eye. All right, where even with what he was saying, when how the Chinese allowed the whatever, who did he say, whatever, it doesn't matter actually, but basically all that stuff that he was complaining about, where he only had an issue when the Edomites are not allowed, all that that's when, okay, well, let me get involved. Let me go talking how these people are in the wrong and whatnot. All right, where it's like, again, it's like this is crazy. Where there's this whole big awakening where even so many of these Christian preachers have admitted that, oh, the Christian church failed them. The Christian church did this. Christian church did that. So now the Israelites are trying to look for the answers elsewhere. All right, because the Christian church doesn't have any answers. All right, so yeah, that's basically it. Talked about the law. I already said, it doesn't matter about what your skin color is. You're not an Israelite based off your skin color, your appearance. You are an Israelite based off of your bloodline. And we try the spirits there. If you truly believe, if you are sincere in this, then you might be an Israelite, basically. So with that, I praise this most edifying. I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWADAH, regardless of what you look like. You could look like a so-called Chinese, so-called Edomite, so-called Indian, whatever, or African. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Abad, and Shalom.